Today I'm standing in front of the Mercedes Benz C43 AMG. Under the hood, this car has a 6-cylinder 3-liter bi-turbo that makes 373 brake horsepower stock. Now when this car came out, it sparked a hot topic debate. The reason being was, did this car deserve the AMG badge? Today I'm here to answer those questions. After 4 years and 2 months of driving the vehicle, I think I found our answer. More importantly, let's talk about why people were so furious about the Mercedes Benz C43 AMG getting an AMG badge. Well, that was specifically because it was not one man, one engine. You did not have one engineer that specifically hand-tuned the engine underneath the vehicle. And that right there was what AMG symbolized. You didn't have a production engine that just came off of a conveyor belt. You had someone craft with their own hands and fine-tune every aspect of the car. Now, does the C43 live up to that expectation? Now, as we approach the front end of the Mercedes C43 AMG, you can see that we do have a little bit of modifications inside this car. And I do have a dual cool air intake system from BMS. And no, I am not talking about Blue Mountain State. I'm specifically talking about Berger Motorsports. And right here in the center, we have an ECU that is modified, currently running RV 3.1 from AMR Performance. With these numbers, with the dual air intake system and the RV 3.1 from AMR Performance, the car is approximately getting 525 base horsepower, which is a lot in a 6-cylinder. Coming up to the cockpit of the Mercedes Benz C43 AMG, you are enlightened with nothing but pure luxuriousness. You guys need to know what I'm talking about, because this car is fitted with, yes indeed, the Designo diamond white stitching with AMG Performance seats and carbon fiber trim on the center console here. Absolute luxuriousness. Comes all the way here on the door as well. Doesn't get much better than this, guys, when it comes to AMG. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's get inside the car. Let's sit down and let's start her on up. Let's see how she drives, and let's see if she really earns her stripes as an AMG. So what do we usually do? I guess we click it once, then we click it twice, then we flick it twice. And as you can see, now we are in Sport Plus mode. Okay. And then we just start her up. And she is ready to go. She is ready to move. Let's groove. But let's more importantly get down to the feel behind the wheel, right? Now when I drive this car, it's a little surreal. It doesn't give me that rumble and that real aggressiveness of a real AMG V8 bi-turbo compared to its older big brother, the C63S. I guess there's really only one way to find out. Would be to give it a little bit of go. And that right there was a little bit of go. And what I love the most is, yeah, you do get those snap crackles and you get those pops. You know, I put the windows down again, you know, lower the moonroof here as well. As the sunshade goes back, everything opens up, you know, letting in some bright light, you know. Right now we're cruising 20 miles an hour, third gear. Drop it down in a second, give it a little juice. Let off, you know, around 5,000 RPMs, get a nice little pop to it. Get it back up there again. Well, that's what I really like, is now when you're shifting from third to second, right in between, you know, 5,000, 5,500 RPMs, that's really when you get a couple of quick pops. Got a nice little roundabout here. Could go around, have some fun. Won't have too much fun, because we are all-wheel drive. That's the reason why I like this car. It's fun. Yeah, this car does have the AMG performance exhaust, which I totally recommend. And the reason I recommend it is because it just gives the car the extra bit of flair and flavor that you're seeking in these in-betweener models. And if you look at how far we've come, and if you look at where Mercedes is going at the moment, you know, beautiful Taycan Turbo S just drives right past me, and that's the funny part. Where's the turbo in that car? It's all electric. Everything is going electric. So the C43 essentially did give birth to what we saw now as the future of AMG, because it gave birth to the E43, which was then preceded by the E53, which was much more sportier. This all started out as a concept in AMG. They said, hey, how do we attack these markets? How do we meet European Union standard emissions? And they basically all got together and said, well, hey, I know what we can do. We can make smaller engines, and we could give them an AMG badge, and we can slap them along on an assembly line, and we can get this going as quick as possible, and we can reach a whole new market of people that are gonna sit there and say, hey, I got a sports car, when in fact, yeah, your car drives nice, but it's not what AMG stood for. But it is where they are going, and that's where the whole world is going. Chevy 2035 all electric, Ford 2035 all electric. Pretty soon, you know, you're gonna have Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, Koenigsegg. They announced they are no longer making any naturally aspirated engines, and it's gonna be a hybrid. I mean, getting behind the wheel of a Tesla and just putting your foot down and watching that thing go is amazing, and it feels amazing. But for us petrol heads, what we really like the most is the fact that we can sit behind the wheel of our car and, you know, we're a part of the machine. We're a part of the ingenuity. And you really look at what Mercedes is doing with the EQS model. I love it. You know, everything's going towards self-autonomous, taking the aspect of human life out of it and ingenuity. And I gotta say, you know, they paid a great homage to it this year with the GT Black Series. Mercedes at Alphalterbach in Stuttgart, they got together and they really said, hey guys, how do we crunch the numbers and how do we set the best lap time on the Nürburgring for a production vehicle? And they did it in a GT. They did it in a front engine grand touring vehicle. I mean, that's really what it is, but it is a race car, and the aerodynamics behind that vehicle is absolutely insane. And if you look at the EQS is one of the most aerodynamic vehicles that has ever been built. And the beauty of it is, yes, you're giving up performance, you're giving up rumble, you're giving up grit, but you're getting this technology that is just light years ahead of where we thought we would be. You know, our grandparents, they would always think, oh, we'd be, you know, driving around in flying cars. We're going to be sitting around in cars that weave their way through traffic and know when a red light's about to happen. And they're going to stop right there. And yeah, we're going to lose some of the things we love in our vehicles as these emissions really do crack down. But that's why you got to enjoy what you got. Because in the meantime, we are going to get a sick line of new products coming out. The new C43S has already been confirmed. It's going to have 623 horsepower with a 200 horsepower battery pack. They have the transversatile 4-cylinder 2-liter engine, which I believe gets 425 brake horsepower. I'm sorry, 425 brake horsepower out of it, and it is the fastest production 4-cylinder engine. That's what Mercedes makes, and that is what is in your new C63. Like it or hate it, sorry, that's the way things are going.